I'm Todd Cohen, the sales culture architect, because everyone's in sales. Part of being in sales, and everyone's in sales, is understanding that we as humans will always get objections to things. So you might get an objection over cost or terms or, it could be anything, right? You can get all kinds of objections. And when it comes to selling in particular, there is an objection that happens often where your client may just say, you know what, I'm going to take the cheapest option, or I'm only shopping on price, or the only thing that matters to me is getting the best deal, the best price, the best whatever. And you have a choice when you hear that objection. And that objection is something where they're saying, listen, I just don't place value on expertise. There are 3 taxes an organization pays when somebody makes the cheap choice. In other words, cheap can get very expensive very quickly. So those 3 taxes are taxes that come as a consequence of making the cheap choice. So let me get to those 3 taxes. Number 1 is what I call the correction task. And this is the cost of hiring a second person to come in and fix the mistakes that the first person made because of a cheap decision. The second tax is called the opportunity tax. This is the cost of what has been lost in sales, in revenue, in getting what you want, need, and deserve, because somebody made the cheaper choice, which proved to be the wrong choice, because you should have hired the person, the expert who already knows what you thought the person who was the cheapest person to have. In other words, you thought they had expertise and they don't, and now you've lost revenue, you've lost opportunity. The third tax is what's called the velocity tax. And this is the drag on the organization that is caused by the poor choice, the cheap choice, the person who doesn't bring the expertise that you thought you were buying by getting the cheapest deal, the cheapest choice. Now, these 3 taxes can be individual, or they can all be present based on the decisions that are made in the organization. Cheap is expensive. This way to handle objections is switching the conversation from cost to value. And anybody who's insistent upon keeping it about cost, now you have to ask yourself a question. Is this the person that I want to be doing business with? That's the point at which you now say, you know what? My expertise in helping you pick that piece of equipment, my expertise in making recommendations, my expertise of 40 years of making mistakes, that has value to it. If you still want the cheapest cost, then I'm not the right person for you. I'm Todd Cohen. If you like this video and you want more on this, please hit subscribe, please hit like, please hit notify, drop me a comment, because I am all about reinforcing the indisputable and undeniable mindset that everyone's in sales, and handling objections is key to that mindset.